The Cricket World Cup final has been marred with controversy, I'm sure you know. Many current and former cricketers have blasted the ICC for deciding a winner upon the number of boundaries in the match. Simon Taufel, one of the greatest umpires, revealed that the Guptill overthrow, which resulted in a 6, was in fact 5 runs. In that case, New Zealand would have been the World Cup winners of 2019.
When Ben Stokes was run out trying to steal a double of the last delivery, the 2019 Cricket World Cup saw a dramatic tie in the final.
Not done yet.
And for the first time in history, a one-day international saw super over. The rules may have been bizarre but were clear. 3 batsmen and 1 bowler from each team are nominated. The team batting second will bat first in the super over. Whoever scores more runs in the super over wins the match. But in case of a tie in the super over, the team with more boundaries in their innings in super over will be declared winners. As luck would have it, the super over ended in a tie too, and England were crowned champions for scoring more. Social media erupted with agony as all felt New Zealand were robbed of the trophy. World Cup's leading run getter and India opener Rohit Sharma said, "Some rules in cricket need a serious look in." While the boundary rule leading to World Cup win was enough to agonize people, Ben Stokes' bat leading to overthrows could be another rule that Rohit Sharma is referring to. The England all-rounder was quick to apologise and said he would do the same for the rest of his life.
Boundary off the bat. Can you believe this?
Margins may not have gone England's way, but the umpires awarding 6 runs for that overthrow has also been questioned, with former umpire Simon Taufel saying that the action should have resulted in 5 runs.
Apologising to us.
What transpired on the Lord's Cricket Ground on July 14th will go down as one of the greatest finals in the world of sports. And none of the 2 teams deserve to be runners-up that day.
New Zealand players have made their way.
Sports Bureau, India Today.
Well, go across to India Today's Radhika Tongar, who's been tracking the fallout of yesterday's amazing down-to-the-wire World Cup final. What a weekend it has been for sports, and every sports fan everywhere. All the conversations, Radhika, are about how New Zealand deserved this one, the injustice of it all, people cursing the system. You know, what are you hearing? Is that all it is? People saying that New Zealand really deserved this?
You know, Shiv, as far as the laws of the game are concerned, of course, England won it fair and square according to the laws. But what needs to be questioned here is, of course, whether the ICC was right in making those rules. Now, everybody's questioned it. In fact, Rohit Sharma tweeted about it a while back as well. The fact that a World Cup went down to the wire, you had a match which was tied, you had a super over which was tied, then you decided to award it based on boundaries. Now, that is something that is not going down well with fans, because if you look at the other half of the table, the fact that wickets fell, New Zealand would have won if you were looking at wickets. So these should not be the parameters to decide a final, and that is also something both captains have not spoken about, because as we saw, Kane Williamson was gracious in defeat, though he did feel that the margins didn't go his way, and that is something that we've seen as well. That overthrow, the fact that whether it should have been 5 runs or 6 runs, somebody who's working with the MCC committee, working on the laws of the game, Simon Taufel has now said that the umpires made a mistake on the field, and in fact it should have been 5 runs. Now that could have changed the equation of the match, we don't know. England would have then needed 4 runs instead of 3 of the last 2 deliveries. We don't know how that would have played out, but everybody feels that the way New Zealand played, the fact that it was a tied super over, both teams deserved it, and the fact that you looked at boundaries instead of what really transpired on the field is not something which has gone down well with people.
Okay, so England won fair and square, but like you said, there is some discontent over the rules as they are in the first place. Radhika, would this mean that there could be some kind of an introspection or a rethink, or is this victory over and everybody just goes back to work?
No, Shiv, absolutely. You know, when in fact New Zealand qualified for the knockouts based on net run rate, the Pakistan fans were extremely upset, saying that they had beaten New Zealand and head-to-head should have been looked at. When India were knocked out, Virat Kohli was asked if he would have wanted IPL-style playoffs, and he said maybe the ICC will look into it. So, of course, there's going to be one. They are going to evaluate what went wrong, what didn't go wrong, whether they should change the format, whether the rules need to be looked at. All that does happen. The ICC, the MCC, the law laws of the game. The ones who make it, they do meet regularly. And I'm sure with the uproar that has been and the fact that, New Zealand were deprived, they deserved it as much as England. They will look into it. It'll take time, but before the next World Cup, hopefully we'll have a better rule to decide a winner if it's a tied super over.
Okay, hopefully. One wonders if it's ever going to be that situation once again. But if it is, it needs to be non-controversial. That's what fans at least deserve. It can't be a situation where it becomes an endless source of ill will and controversy and people accusing the administrators of creating and framing bad rules that have resulted in one team not really deserving it. In this case, as per the rules, England won fair and square. Radhika, thanks so much for that. Not too long ago in 2016 at the World T20 final, Ben Stokes was slammed for 4 sixes off the final over that denied England their second world title. But 3 years later, Stokes has redeemed himself with a performance of a lifetime. For Stokes and this England team, it's time to celebrate and cherish the moments that made them world champions.
9 needed of 4 deliveries.
Goes again.
A decisive moment in the final. Martin Guptill's throw deflects off Ben Stokes' bat and England are handed 6 runs. Hosts right back in it. Super over.
Guptill's going to push the
2 needed of the final deliveries and the man from Barbados does it for England. Lords erupted in joy and Ben Stokes' emotions said it all. Redemption time for the big man. The English all-rounder played an innings of a lifetime to hand 3 Lions their maiden World Cup crown.
World Cup finish ever.
Finally, an England team lifted the World Cup and it was an Irishman holding that trophy aloft. England will celebrate and soak in the moment. And why not? After all, it's taken a long time for the cup to finally come home.
Long time coming.
Sports Bureau, India Today.
Thanks for watching the video. For more such news and updates, please like, share and subscribe to India Today. Also check out our other great videos from our channel. We know you would love to.